Hi students, this is Mrs. Mignell, and we are going to continue our discussion with the Introduction to Literary Analysis, and we're going to focus on the literary element or device called theme. So the first question, a basic question, is what is the use of a literary analysis? So really it is critical thinking. And it helps you to develop analysis skills because it will show you how to break something apart, a text apart, into a theme and into other literary elements. We're going to focus on setting and character. And you're going to take a look at how these parts interact with each other. And that's how you analyze something, you pull something apart. So as I said before, we're going to focus on theme in this lesson. It's good to understand the difference of all these terms. So over the course of the semester, you've had thesis and conclusion, and now you're adding to these terms theme. So it's good to kind of know what they mean and who they mean it to. So we're going to take a look at two perspectives. We're going to take a look at the author or writer's perspective and what these terms mean, and then we're going to take a look at the reader's perspective. Okay, so for the writer and the author, they pretty much have a thesis. So I put on the board before that you have a topic and an opinion and reasons, and this is the main point of the essay, of the paper. That the author is trying to convince his reader of. In a work of fiction or creative nonfiction, the author doesn't clearly state their thesis. It's implied by the parts and that, okay? So from the reader's perspective, okay, you look for a conclusion. And that's a Browne Keeley term that we've learned over the course of the semester. And this conclusion is the message or the reality that the author wants the reader to accept. And often in published articles, it is not stated. Academic articles sometimes stated clearly, but usually it's also implied and the reader has to figure it out. Then the next one to consider that we're going to focus on now is this matter of theme. And theme is the reader's opinion about what the author's topic or subject in the text is trying to communicate. This theme is universal, and it can be supported by analyzing parts of the text throughout the entire text, which we're going to talk about. Okay, so pretty much you've seen that thesis, conclusion, and theme can basically point to the point that an author is making. Okay, theme is a little bit different. We'll take a look now. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like for you to pause this video, and I would like for you to play How to Find a Theme. And then another one is fun animation showing how to identify a theme within a story. And I am going to show you what they look like, what the first one looks like. It is theme, how to find a theme. And the second one that I'd like you to take a look at is fun animation showing how to identify a theme within a story. So after you've watched those two, then come back and continue with the rest of the PowerPoint. Okay, so welcome back. So now that you've watched those two short videos on how to identify a theme, you'll know that a theme is more than a topic, okay? So you need to be able to identify the topics, but the topics need the opinion of the author that you need to work out. And you can do this, all right? So we will be discussing possible themes throughout the discussion of the text. So how to identify the theme in a book, here's some ways. So first of all, you should finish reading the text. It's you can identify some minor themes, but the major theme, you should be reading the entire text. as you're reading through the entire text, you should be taking a look at the topics in the book. So based on our listening to some of the interviews of the author, in this case, for this time, I'm teaching the book Educated by Tara Westover. You would notice that she points out that the topics in the book are estrangement and, of course, education or being educated, being isolated. So estrangement, isolation, as well as being educated. And there's some other ones. I'd even say that there's a minor theme about abuse in the book as well. So take notes. So I write on my text because I read a physical text. If you're reading an ebook, then you would need reader's notes and to take notes. If you have a book and you're going to return it, like you're at the library, then you would need reader's notes as well. Or if you don't want to write in the book, then you put a bunch of post-its in it and take notes that way. Then you're looking for this matter of the conclusion or the author's thesis on the book, which is the opinion on the topic. So you have all these topics, and then you're trying to think, based on what's happening in the text, what is the author's opinion? It's just like that one little video on Aesop's fables about the monkey and the dolphin. Throughout the storytelling, people thought that the theme was a certain thing, but they changed by the end of the book. So that's why it's important to read the entire text. So here you're trying to do this. Okay, you're trying to say the author, and you put their name in there, believes, and then what about the topic. So Tara Westover believes what about estrangement? And this is something we'll discuss. So this is something that you need to think about. I don't want to give you the answer. This is a theme, a life lesson that's bigger than just the character in the book. It's universal, which means it can apply to a larger audience. Then this matter is, and I'm stressing this matter of reading the entire text, so a panorama of evidence. So don't just look at part 1, or let's just look at part 2, or don't just look at part 3, but you need to read the entire book to be able to identify the topic throughout the text and be able to see how it changes. So I wanted to make sure that you understood what a panorama is, so I gave you this panorama of a city. And you'll see that it's not just a small picture of something, it's not just one building or 2 buildings, but it is a very long lens. And that's why you want to read the entire book and take a look at the topic throughout the book. Now, a way to identify the major theme involving the character, and we are going to talk about the literary element of character in another sitting, another class. You're going to pay attention to the main character and whether or not she or he is used as a symbol. And you're going to notice changes for the good over the bad with this character. Often in a fiction work or creative nonfiction like this, the author actually does state the major theme. So I would be paying attention to it at the end of part 2 or somewhere in part 3 to actually find out the major theme that the author is trying to state. Imagine it connects to being educated in Tara Westover's Educated. But if you're reading another book, then you'll need to take a look at the end of that book. Look at the title and where does the word appear in the novel? Where does it appear? So in this book, where does educated appear? I've taught the book Welcome to Bracksville. Where does the title of the book Welcome to Bracksville appear? I've taught Strength in What Remains by Tracy Kidder. Where does that title appear? And you can take a look at, whatever book that you're reading, where does the title appear in the text? And it probably appears more than once, but where's the first appearance and what's the situation of it appearing? So, and then take a look at the main conflict. So who is against whom? And then who wins? Or is there a winner? A method here, and it's called the method, to analyze something is called, it's called the method, and I give it a mnemonic of boars, B-O-A-R-S. And I gave you that cute little picture of a boar there. So when you look over the textual evidence for the topic, try to see, once you have your evidence, once you've picked a topic that you want to focus on, then this is the types of things that you're going to look at for textual evidence. You're going to look for text that has binary opposition. So that's kind of the opposites, the yin and the yang, male, female, black and white. And even though it's out of the screen there, it's educated and uneducated. So take a look at some of those oppositions. Okay. Take a look at anomaly. An anomaly means something that really glaringly sticks out, or something that's missing. Repetition. So when an author keeps repeating something, that means that they're emphasizing it. So in the topic, through the text that you're looking at, all the instances, what's being repeated? This means that there's a certain kind of emphasis. The last way is strands, which means that you take a look at synonyms that could either stand for repetition or for binary opposition, and maybe the anomaly. And then you go through classification and you look at patterns. I am not going to have you look at that. Okay, that would be probably for a full-fledged on literature class. Okay, so I give you the mnemonic. The method bores me. That's where there's a different kind of bore. B-O-A-R-S. All right. And then if you take a look at the last few pages of the syllabus, you are going to find directions to walk you through an analysis using the method. Now, this method is good for analyzing literature. It's good for analyzing a poem. It's also good for analyzing a scientific experiment, to take a look at repetition, and if something's missing or if something sticks out. And I haven't done a lot of science recently if something is in opposition to something else. So I wanted to take you on over to the page here and show you that if you come on over to the modules page and you click under course information, just click on the syllabus. And it's thinking because it's very long. And there's the syllabus. And what you're going to do is you are going to come down, if I can get